Hey everyone, welcome to Breakout Wednesday. It is the 26th of June, believe it or not, 2024. It's currently about 10 p.m. on the West Coast, midnight on the East Coast. First of all, remember, there's never financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply a video blog on how one trader sees the market, and everyone needs to take responsibility for their own decisions. All right. So these videos are now just coming out on to the members area, okay, which is kind of what I always wanted, to be honest. I'm I'm a bit of an introvert. I'm not the sort of guy that wants to be crapping on to heaps of people on YouTube. Even though I've been doing it for years, I'd much prefer to just be talking to a private group who are all kind of working together to do really well, and I hope that's what we're building here, a community that really wants to see each other profit and kick ass and sticks by each other and is respectful of each other. And I think we're off to a great start, and then I'm really excited about this members area. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and it's been some great input. I mean, holy shit, I'm going to go through some setups tonight, but really excited about kind of the content we're getting in here. Okay, now back to trading. I've had a good run lately, and my priority now is not to give back and do anything stupid. The financial year is about to end. I just want to hear, get it out and then just reset for the next financial year. Okay, AKM's been one of my better trades lately. I've still got some parcels left, but I've taken a lot off the table too, as I've talked about in the members area. MDR, I've talked about how I'm managing that in the members area. It's I'm very aware that this might crash back down and all my paper profits will be wiped out. But I love the fact that today it did this on tiny volume. I just reckon over the years that I haven't met that many people who have made huge amounts of money by taking really quick profits. Okay, I'm talking about like day one. I just think I do that sometimes, but more often than not, statistically, when you average these out, when great setups like this, it's just there's more in it, and if you take your profits too early, you're really not letting your winners run. And I think one of the key things in trading is to let your winners run and to cut your losers really quickly. Okay, so I'm sitting in there with MDR, and I'm going to be patient and I'm going to try and really kind of make some bank on it. Okay, NAB, okay, it's still growing in high. I mean, much more slow moving stock, but it's been a good start to it. REA started, and obviously these are large cap stocks. Okay, I'm not in this thing for a short time. I'm hopefully going to be in this for the next year or two. Okay, a bit like the Sun trade. Haven't trimmed one share in Sun. Don't really plan to. I mean, I've added to it. Bought here, added here. I didn't add here. Probably could have and should have, but I didn't. But anyway, it's just doing its thing. I didn't even mean to talk about Sun. And the only other one lately is SKS. Okay, and I talked about on the members area that I got out of this. I got in at 83, got out at 83, and I got out of a lot of it at 83 and a bit of it just above 83. But whatever, who cares? About 83. So it's about break even. And to be honest, this thing still looks good. Okay, it had this big wick, and I know there's like a wicks, 3 weeks in a row and closing on the lows. And sure, I guess that's a bearish kind of candle pattern, but it never broke back down below this kind of resistance turn support at 825. And I was selling some decent parcels of shares here at 83 and 83.5 and 84, and there was some people there absorbing everything I chucked at them. Okay, and I probably shouldn't have sold. Be honest, I still think statistically this has a really good chance of trending a lot higher. And I'm probably going to live to regret it. But it's just playing defense. I've had a great year. I just don't want to give it back. I just want to catch those trades right now that just break out and go for it, and just really try and hold on to the money I've made. And I have to pay some tax, but that's life. Okay. The other thing is that I've just learned that my biggest losers tend to come after my biggest wins. And I went hard on AKM. I risked. There's an old saying. You should risk 1% or 2% of your account in every trade. I don't really do that. Like, I will have like really kind of small trades. Okay. I think it was Sally that put FMG up on the forum, and things like this, like I really like I'm going to go through this. I really like the setups you put here. I don't usually trade reversals, but something like this, I would only risk, say, 0.25 of 1%. I'm talking about 1/4%, or maybe half of 1% of my account on the trade. Probably 1/4 of 1% of my account on the trade. So really, really small risk. Whereas when I get these kind of once every 3 months setup, I risk a good 3 to 4%. And I really swing for it. And it does backfire from time to time where I'll lose 4% of my account. But I just, to me, when I really push on these A+ amazing setups, and then when they go batshit crazy like that, and you risk 4% of your account, and suddenly, bang, your account's up 12%, in a couple of days. Okay, and so that to me is how I trade. I risk a certain amount depending on the setup. Okay, and that's a discretionary thing that I've learned over trading for 20 something years, right? So okay, now that's that. I didn't really mean to talk about that. Let's just talk about some setups. These all come up in Dava scans pretty much. ADSC I've talked about before. I'm a bit kind of nervy on this, just because I've been looking at it at night time and it's got wide spreads. Like there might be kind of the offer bid spread might be like a 50-cent spread on it, and it's just, I don't like that, because getting out of it's shit, and it's really hard to control my risk. Because if I'm saying I'm going to get in this on the break of 11.50 and it's like I pay 11.58, and then I want to have a stop here, say initial stop at least, it'll break below 10.40, but then what if the spread's 50 cents, okay, and it comes back down here and the offer's 10.40 and the bid's 9.50? Do I need to get out at 9.50? If I'm asleep and there's a stop order in, and I might be filled at 9.50, how do I control that risk? And so I might be trying to risk 1% of my account, and then I get a shit fill because of the wide spread, and suddenly boom, I lose 2% of my account. So I think I'm going to leave it, to be honest, just because I don't like that. Okay, I like shit I can manage, and I can't manage that. And then I go that, and I talk about EGH, which is another liquid stock, but for some reason on the ASX market, it doesn't affect me as much. I don't know why. I just feel like I can get out of them because I'm awake, and I can manage it a lot better. Because I tend to just see it happening, and I'm decent at getting out of stocks when I want to on the ASX, and so this thing is still setting up. I traded this one back here, hey, on this lovely trend. It can move, but it's really just basing here, and you look at this every day and think, shit, this is a boring stock. It's not doing anything. It's just going sideways, but and that's the thing. Everyone gives up on these things, and I'm sure a lot of people thinking AKM was a boring piece of shit too when it went sideways for 3 or 4 months. Okay, and people giving up. That's the whole point of a sideways range. They just do nothing, and they're boring, and most people give up on them and just think that thing's dead. And it's dead until it wakes up and it gets going. So EGH I'm watching now. I think it was Sal, or maybe it wasn't Peter. Sally posted on the forum about FMG, how it's gone from 27 to 21 very quickly, and it's very oversold in all oscillators, and then there's an inside bar, and I don't trade reversal setups very much, and Peter was like, yeah, it's one heck of a reversal. I think Craig said, yeah, that iron ore futures, yeah, for sure, coming down to support 100%, and Peter's like, wow, one heck of a reversal, yeah, totally, and it's just, it is a great setup. I've been watching these iron ore stocks, and a lot of these, not just iron ore, but lithium and stuff, and stocks like FMG and MIN, just like, I don't use these indicators much, but let's just go put some of our RSIs on, and they're so oversold. I mean, it's very rare in MIN's history that this RSI has got this low on a daily chart, and it's just come down to this old low here, and you just have to think that these things are due for a rally, and you look at BH, Okay, it's big two bullish candles in a row. Gaps in BH don't mean as much, but it's kind of left this island reversal back here. Got a little beautiful little island reversal here. And this is usually how island reversals play out. Hey, gap up, gap down, and then bang. But there's a short-term pattern, and so I just think I'm pretty bullish on these just for a bit of a rally. Okay, PLS even. Sorry, guys. PLS, man, I got this in the self-managed super fund. I'm trying not to look at it, to be honest, but I still would bet my house that this thing's going to be a lot higher in 10 years. But I just think this is showing signs of reversal. They all are, okay. And if I'm going to try and play one of them in a reversal rally, I need to choose one that's tight and it's giving me these inside bars that this has. I mean, today's not an inside bar because it just wicked below this, but it just flushed out. Like if you look at the low of this day on the 24th of June, it's like 2102, and then the low today was, what was the low today? Shit, it was, wait. The low today was 2102, the low the other day, oh, okay, it didn't actually wick below it. I thought it did. It's exactly the same. So these are inside bars. We've got two inside bars inside this day. I like that because as Sally said in the forum, then we can, I can have a very defined risk. And then as Peter said, this is a low probability entry, okay? And it is, but if you get it right, you can make 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1 on your risk reward. So anyway, it's really, really interesting just that how oversold these things are, how they're all showing signs of capitulation. I think Craig was talking about capitulation on RGO, and so he's kind of seen that as well, which yeah, here we go, RGO capitulation, totally, and so I think it's not just RGO, like we're seeing signs of that on all of these stocks all at the same time, and therefore I don't usually do these reversal trades. I used to heaps and I really liked it was fun, but I kind of just like those blue sky breakouts, but there aren't that many blue sky breakouts this second, so I think I'm gonna jump in FMG with this, Sally. So let's see how we do. Now, that's enough on that. Oh yeah, and all the energy plays which we've been talking about. Like I feel Oxy on the NYSE really leads a lot of these energy stocks. I think it's a good stock just to have in your watch list to be looking at every day because even the ETFs. I mean, Oxy tends to kind of show you what's happening a bit better. Okay, this is Oxy's like the one that Warren Buffett's been buying like bucket loads of. I think he owns like a third of this company now. Just keeps buying the thing. Okay, and it's breaking out of this huge falling channel, and I know I realize that's an oil stock, but then we look on the ASX and there's a lot of these guys setting up. Okay, there's CUE that someone posted a forum too, which I've just got this symmetrical triangle going on, huge gap up here. I think that was on an earnings beat. There's Co, I think someone put on the forum too, like, go back in. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Co, and yeah, awesome. Yeah, yes, yeah, and and with a lot of these energy stocks are setting up. Okay. All right, now let's just get on. There's a few other things before I piss off. Judo Bank. Okay, I've been talking about Judo Bank for ages. It's just like this little neobank that does loans to businesses. This is just basing away. I liked it in this base, but it came down, touched its 100-day exponential average, bounce, has some nice big volume days, and on a weekly chart it's tightening. And so, getting keen on that. I mean, the longer this base is, the better. Okay, I'm just watching that. We don't have an order in yet, but I'm just watching that and see if we can just base for longer before that order goes in. TNE, I short quite a lot, but it's not something I talk about on YouTube because I don't know. There's only so many hours. I mean, so much time in the day, and sorry guys. And I think that talking about shorting on a YouTube channel with everyone listening, I mean, it's beyond most people's kind of grasp of stuff. But I do short mainly to hedge. Also, obviously when there's bear markets, it's awesome. But when I see stocks that I think are a high probability short, you know, have been faking out and breaking out to the upside, but then failing and then giving me a nice risk reward entry, I will take it. And when I say take it, like I'm not putting the house on these. I'm putting much smaller trades. I'm risking maybe half of 1% of the account on them. Really just kind of you know, hedging, because, you know, in case the market starts tanking, then I've got at least one short on. And so that's what I do, quite a lot of that, okay? And TNE is one of these. There's CFDs on it. I can short it with my broker, and so I'm probably going to just get a little short in TNE if it just breaks this inside day, okay? And it's got 2 inside bars from this mother candle here, right? That's just something else to quickly chat about. I've talked for too long. I'm going to end this in a sec. CYM's in a Davis box. I'm just basing down here, okay? You can see that base there forming. Sorry, guys, we've obviously got a bit of a cough thing going on. And then CGI, okay? Sorry, I meant to say LGI. LGI, I've been looking at it, and then I saw Craig whacked it in the forum the other day. Where is it? Yeah, we've had a lot of posts, hey. It's hard to keep up with them, I must admit. But I swear, Craig posts, let me just have a look. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I broke. Just had a, there we go. Yeah, here we go, LGI. So, yeah, tightly held electricity company. So, you know, this just came up Davis box. I like, you know, the thing that attracted me to this was just the blue sky. And that can base longer. Okay, it's a bit of liquid, but I just back that on the watch list. I don't really need that trade in my life, but if that stays there for another few weeks, okay, let's just go to weekly. Okay, so let's stay there for another week or two and just tighten up. Then, you know, I might just get a little position on that on a break. That's it, guys. You know, talked for too long, kind of dribbled a bit. Sorry about that. Coughed a little bit. Enjoy the forum, guys. I will be punching out deep dive whenever I have a really good trade. You know, I've only done a few so far. I did one on AKM, MDR, and REA, and I will be bringing out ones, but I'm only going to bring them out when I've got something that, you know, I'm risking a bit more than half of 1% of my account on. Okay, that doesn't mean they're all going to win, because I promise you they won't. But I think hopefully people get something out of it. Take care, everyone. Cheers.